Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So, we are on Supreme Straits, very popular map, being featured on the channel a few times, and no doubt in the future it will be featured on the channel a hell of a lot more. So, we have myself playing in the sort of front slash techie position. This is probably my favorite starting place in Supreme Straits, to be completely honest with you, right? I've never really played like Eco or Air yet, so who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll be my some of my favorites moving forward. So we've got our red team leader, Clubs, not in the club, but Clubs, and he is playing in the more economic growth section of the map. We've got Howler going into Air. We've got Wessalan, which will be taking on the Southern Seas. And we have Enderobo, who again I think this is kind of similar to my starting point, right? It's a sort of tech eco sort of area of the map, and you've got the geothermal, right? So you can up your economy significantly, and we have Legion. Legion. Now, I am a big fan of this class. Now, I haven't played it, admittedly, but Dr. Urana, who you may have seen in the channel every now and again, he has more recently started playing with Legion, and I really like this unit. I really like this faction. Now, from what I understand, not heavily into the metal side of things, but a much more energy based faction. But yeah, they've got a whole bunch of unique stuff. So yeah, keep an eye out for Legion. I know they're still work. I think the devs are still working on like fully kitting out their roster, right? So they do have some holding units every now and again. But yeah, I think in the more recent months, their sort of tier threes have had a bit of a upgrade. So nice to see that they're in the game. As well, we have Brown, I suppose, kind of Brown, Nosh 4 taking the front position, and KCC with the sort of light pinkish color taking the fronts as well. Now, this is going to be challenging because the enemy team, their primary blue player, the main player, Donny, right, or the main or the most skilled player, he's taking the front position. So this is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for our guys to combat this fellow here, right? So let's see how we do, right? We've got light blue as well, or sky blue. He's playing fronts as well, and that's their third highest ranked player. Give, I will show you something. Woof! Look at that. Now that is confident talk, right? And they want to kill the com. They want to kill the com. These bunch of savages. So what do they want to do? What do they want to do here? So they're going in, pushing with the pawns. Now he's right. I mean, with this lineup of pawns, you can certainly kill a commander. Certainly kill a commander if the commander isn't paying any attention. Right? If he's a pacifist, if he doesn't want to just let off D guns and destroy an army of pawns, and also if he didn't have any backup. Now, KCC has vehicles, right? And they're going to trade very well against the pawns. But look how quickly he's got Rocketeers onto the field. Donny. He's got Rocketeers in super early, and this is going to be problematic, right? Because LLTs, everybody does it, right? When you start off and you're pushing the or playing front, you look to build up some LLTs, particularly in the very early game. If the opposition has Rocketeers or rocket vehicles, rocket-based vehicles, LLTs become sort of null and void. It's really hard to create them with any sort of real impact on the field anymore, because Rocketeers just outrange them. Right, let's follow these tanks. Let's see how they're getting along. Oof, bit too experienced, right? I mean, if it was a lesser commander, these guys might have gotten the surround and got the hurt in. You got me sending in some pawns. I thought, right, look, I can't let these guys just think, you know, they can just take on take on our team and have nothing go on, right? Have nothing unanswered. So I'm wanting them to understand that these two aren't here alone. Yeah, that we do have other team members that are paying attention, that can see what's going on the field here, right? And I'm gonna bring in some backup. But not only that, I mean, look, you've got ACAM. You've got ACAM, the second best player, or the second most experienced player on the books, I should say. He's sending in his Cortex rocket bots and his thugs. We've got some thugs rolling up. Now, with this in mind, I realised that, look, pawns, PVs, they're not really going to do too much. I need to get rocket bots in there. I need to send some rocket bots up into the front because we need the range. We need the range. So, I mean, we need the range. We need an answer for this. And it's not really the Armada rocket bots I'm too worried about. It's really the Cortex ones. Because they could just take a bit more of a hit from what I experienced in my plays, right? And I think that's generally the case. Any sort of like-for-like unit from the Cortex faction, they're just a little bit more beefier. They could just have a slightly more range, sometimes a hell of a lot more range than the Armada units. So something to keep in mind. Now, battle lines are clearly being drawn, right? And Donny is the one I mean, his commander's in front of every single unit he's got, right? He's clearly feeling brave there. You got Barracuda, who's playing a lot more sort of cautiously, and I'd say that this is a bit more of a, maybe sensible is a harsh way of looking at it, but he's clearly thinking about things in a more safe fashion. Look, KCC's taken a few hits. He's taken a few hits. He's got to be really careful, because if he goes off in the sort of section he's in the map, he's taking his own army out with him, right? And that's not where you want to be. That's not where you want to be. I still got a whole bunch of units coming in. One of the things I've trying to adapt in my play more recently is the inclusion of res bots in what I build, right? And that's to get the reclaim. I noticed that frontline players in particular, or just good players, they do this, right? It's one of those best practice, a good thing to do, right? Get the reclaim in, and you can grow and establish yourself a hell of a lot more quicker than otherwise you would do. Let's see what they got going on here, right? So you've got Morpheus in air. You have Legion on their side as well, the shiny Pikachu. Yo, okay. You got Kamen Raider. Now, this is interesting. I wouldn't necessarily utilize the commander for such activities. I mean, he's better placed doing other things, more valuable things, one should say. They gave me Newt, maybe a fellow YouTuber. Keep an eye out for that. You got Pixely as well. So if I was to bring the map back to its sort of default position, right? Otherwise, it can get a little bit, yeah. Okay, Northern Seas looks like, you know, the gaming Newt is gonna take that. Pixely is starting to get a bit of a foothold in the Southern Seas as well. Wesley is making it's making some attack vessels. In fact, he's got a little bit of an army happening over here. This is good to see. And I think he's realised, look at these guys. They're amassing a fleet as well. I don't know if this is going to be enough. I mean, for those of you who've seen my more sort of recent naval plays, right, you would know that I am no one to be commenting any sort of tips and tricks in the ways of the water, right? But it looks like Blue have a much stronger foothold over there. Lord Potato, didn't cover him in the very beginning, but he's taken on the Northern Seas for us, and he's gone into the water here. This is going to be good. He's got a geo spot that he can capture up here and make use of it. Good. He should be getting his economy up. Now, whilst these guys are beating the living snot out of each other, right? As long as the enemy aren't pushing through, oof. And just as I say that, The opportunity for them to push through has never been better. Has never been better. All right, now this is going to be slightly problematic. I haven't seen any pings come off, so I can't recall if the rest of the team are aware of this. I'm clearly having a look in this section here and can see, look, we've lost the mech. More importantly, we've lost the commander. Any walls that we may have had over here are gone. That nuclear blast has taken care of that. Surprised Blue hasn't just went into a repair frenzy and said, right, I want to get these guys into fighting condition and get them up straight away. Not completely against this is e-stalling, but having something like a gauntlet here is potentially going to be life-saving, right? So you got to do something. Now, one of the things that I tried to do early on is give out some of these windmills that I was building, trying to help get the guys into a position where they're not fighting for energy per se, right? Now, shout out to our Legion player. I think it was Ender Rub. Oh, that looks pretty cool. I don't think I've seen a Legion geothermal reactor before, right? Power plant. That's pretty cool, and that's the advanced one as well. All right, nice. Yeah, he gave me a tier 2, a Legion tier 2, and this is a big help because this has allowed me to upgrade my mechs immediately without having to, you know, self-D my com, eat up my tier 1 lab, all sorts of stuff, right? Which means I can still at least provide some units to the front, and that's a massive help. I'm also looking to build a fusion reactor because I'm not going to get the most metal in the game, right? All I've got is what I have in terms of my metal spots. So what I need to do is make a energy converter economy in order to get that metal up and going. Now you may have noticed I put a con turret here as well, and this is my economy turret. If this guy is meant to well, he was going to do a bit of both. Help me eco, and help me get my units out. But this one more specifically because he's nowhere near a lab. This just eco, and I need that, right? And I think that's a sensible way of play. I've got some energy converters here as well, so as long as I can get my E up, I should be getting a bit more metal coming in. My paranoia of air just got me making this tier 1 anti-air buildings right there. Okay, Blue are doing exceptionally well. They've clearly in a position where they've pushed us back. They've pushed us back significantly here. When you're Geo, you should usually rush T2 lab and go something heavy like Fat Boy or similar. Oof, not bad advice. Not bad advice. Yeah, if you can get access to a geo spot and you got your energy coming in significantly, why not, right? You want to go for heavier units rather than spending that time on the lighter ones. Interesting. So, I mean, this I'm kind of surprised with. I'll be completely honest with you, right? I mean, their main player at this stage in the game, he's battered our team. And he's making tower defense. And it's not just any old tower defense. It's LLTs. I don't get that. I really don't get that. I mean, you got an opportunity to just pump out units, right? Make a mass force, come in here, establish the wreckage, and you can eat up the com. I mean, he's trying it now, but yeah, odd. And he still, look, you can see he's just trying to make a line of LLTs. I mean, surely he must know they're going to be kind of useless at this stage. I mean, it's going to look nice, maybe make you feel good, but the net results, the return on the investment, it's not going to be there. Wow, these guys, those are some strong hits. Those are some strong hits, yeah, and you can see this gauntlet is providing value. And that's making, this commander, this con unit a busy fool. All they're doing is just repairing an LLT. It's pointless. What a pointless activity. If you're gonna just use the commander for something pointless as that, and you don't mind giving out some more metal, get him to go into the waters, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger commander, just get him, or Universal Soldier style, get him to come into the waters, right? And go in here, you know, take a chance, degun some labs, rather than spending time repairing LLTs. Right, my Rocketeers, I think I just had them on a command to just go up, right? Hopefully to keep the blue team busy, to kind of keep them at bay. Looks like we're getting pushed. We're getting pushed in the seas. Getting pushed in the seas. Wow, what's this? A howler. Radar sonar plane. Interesting, okay. Okay, cool. As you can see from my base, I like to think that I'm getting bigger. As you can see, look, I'm no longer in a position where I was scavenging for energy. I've got a few more construction turrets up now. All my energy, tier 1 energy converters, I should say, are up and running, firing all cylinders. And I'm getting my tier 2 up. Right? I'm getting my tier 2 up. I've just instructed a few of these to help, because otherwise he'd be there for 500 years. But I still need more metal, right? And that's where these lovely Legion tier 2 advanced energy converters should help. First one goes up, and look, metal's gone to 57 straight away. And I'm still healthy. I'm still good. I'm still good when it comes to my energy input, right? And this fusion reactor is going to come in no time. Plenty of time for when my my advanced geothermal comes up. Man, these guys are tough. Yo, Nosh is at 2%. This is worrying, and he's got some energy. He could probably cloak. So he hasn't clicked the cloak button here. What are these? Maybe they're torpedo bombers. Yeah, but ships. I mean, they can be devastating. They can be devastating if they get a foothold on the straits, right? But look, again, in fact, let's see what he's doing. Right, this is what he wanted, Mr. Aphis. He was like, no, I don't care. I want my Aphis. And he's clearly thinking long game here. He's thinking long game, although he could have potentially have just killed us. But right, ravaging the fronts with his tier 1 army, right? But he wants to take the opportunity to eco up. Is that the right move? Is it not? What do you guys think? Is that something that you would do if you were in his position? Would you try and eco up whilst having a bastion, a legion of LLTs? Hey, look, our boats are in. Guess those LLTs weren't so hot, right? Now, I know he's tick spamming, right? And that's not a bad thing. So perhaps we could take a little bit of a lesson here and maybe just 2 to 3 LLTs would do it. Oh, wow. Okay, nice. Look at these. The Medusa. Mobile cluster artillery vehicle. I do like the fact that the Legion stuff looks so different to ARM and Core. Or Armada and Cortex, maybe I should say, right? It is nice to see, and this is a good idea. This is a good idea. With their range, they can cover this entire sort of section of the waters, right? That will kind of keep the blue Southern Navy at bay. What these guys got going on over here? The waters are tough. It is tough to play sea. You know, you got to do all this effort of pumping out units. I mean, I find it hard to micro boats and to get them in a way where you're trading favorably against the enemy team. Do you know what? Look, I've got a second fusion up. I'm getting some more metal in, almost at 100, right? I wonder what my counterpart on their side, who is their second in command, second best player. Let's see how we stack up. We're not dissimilar, you know. Look, he's got 2 fusions up. He's obviously gone into anti-air panic, right? not entirely sure why. Was he a victim of a bombing run earlier? Maybe I missed it, but I don't think anything happened to him. Okay, I like this. Look, you know, Shiny Pikachu asking if they need help up front. Donnie's sounding very, very confident with that, you know, like, yeah, we're winning. We winning soon. Damn, son. I do like how one of the things he's done that I didn't really do, right, is the way he's spread out. Is the way he's spread out. So maybe I could take some learnings from that, right? He's popping out some good tier 2s. What have I got going on over here? Yeah. So this was it. My idea was, look, rather than me sending units to the front, which I had been doing, right, to not the best success in the world, I thought, right, what I spoke about earlier, that universal soldier tactic, throw them into the water. I want to throw these guys into the water, right? I want to get them in and then hopefully hit them around the flank. That's what I wanted to do. Oh, this is bad. Bulls are coming in, backed up by these tier 1 maces, thugs. What a push. Nosh is doing his best. Yeah, this is hard. And I'm not sure if we actually help the front enough. I know I was sending units, but I don't know if it was the right type of units, enough units, or perhaps, you know, we could have had other players helping that. So where's my are these platypuses? Where are these guys going? Right, this is where I put them, because I wasn't too sure. Like, I've not played this sort of tactic before, right? So I wasn't sure, like, okay, how should I do it? Where can I get these guys in to create the most amount of havoc? And one of the things I wasn't anticipating is his flipping humongous army of pawns. Platypuses, I realized they don't really have that much damage output, but they do have anti-air, which was really good to see. So look, even though I got in, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get the sort of damage I wanted. But couple of things here. I learned they're not that strong. We learned that we can get in. So I started trying to get him into the nooks and crannies, right? And I thought, look, if I can, if I can maybe damage the nanos and get them to chain react and explode, maybe I could get some pain into there. And I think I have. Now I know some might say, like, the metal cost and this and that, the trade-off, I don't know. Like, I don't think the platypuses were the biggest like metal expense in the world, and I do think I did okay damage. And look, it's got him worried. Look, now he wants to back up what he's got over there. Right, blue team pushing in significantly. Look at this radar jammer with Sheldons. Amazing. And what we got going on? I've got some units here, and again, look, platypuses. We realize that damage output isn't great, but I needed to do something to help the guy. Ender Rob, yes, he's putting some of these heavy assault heat ray tanks. They look good. And maybe these guys are gonna be enough to hold them. Sheldons are bad news for anybody, right? They're bad news for anybody. Their range is incredible, and we've seen them in the. Wow, look at this. I mean, this is something we've been ignoring, and in fact, I like this. So our leader clubs, he's clearly been cooking, right? He's not seen war. He's not had to feel it yet, and maybe he's gonna be the one that gives us what we need to turn the tide here. And in fact, it looks like, what do you guys reckon? Around 24, 25 minutes going into tier 3? Yeah, 23 minutes going into tier 3. How's your boy doing? Better? Getting better? Or is it just about right? Or is it late as hell? Considering I don't have the economy of this guy here. What an amazing sight. It's like a cornfield, isn't it? I mean, yo, crazy amounts of energy converters. All we gotta do is just somehow survive all of this. Welders are nice. They're tanky. I wouldn't necessarily send them in without some level of cover at this stage, unless he doesn't mind. Yeah, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Cover, as in the sense of covering their existence. So one of the things I'm trying to learn a little bit more, and I need to just find out and remember the action, right? Is how do you send a composition of units that have different mobility speeds, but the quicker ones don't run away from the slower ones, right? And I know there is a way. There's a move command where you got to do something. I think it's shift and control, or shift and alt, and they will move at the same pace as the slowest unit. That's something that I really need to learn. I'm sending in some welders. In fact, the welders that were moving up front, they might have been the ones that I sent. Could be. Right, I'm at 130 metal. Right, and I feel good. I feel good with that. I've got one advanced fusion up, and I feel like that should be enough to really get me into a T3. Yo, Clubs is now making his mark. He's now saying, right, let's test these guys. Let's test these guys. And at the same time, look, our fronts are doing a lot better. All of this section here, the blue had, all of that. Oh, we're winning. We're winning. Anytime now. No problem, we're winning. I think that's not aged too well. Oof, and this is looking juicy. Lynch Bomber comes in. That's a good reaction. But Marauders do have anti-air. And we still have enough Marauders to fire out significant amount of anti-air to take down that bomber. Come on, get just one of these fusions and we're good. Yo! Base go boom. Base go boom. And that's meant to be their eco player, right? So that's going to be a big hit. I mean, blue, he only does have one Aphis. And that ain't going to be enough. This guy, okay. I mean, clearly he's been focusing on playing, so that's his role, right? And he's got two Aphises. But he could have gotten bigger, I feel. A lot's going to be resting on green and blue here. I mean, what happened to this guy, Barracuda? I mean, wow. I'm surprised we were able to take him out that well. He ain't got enough economy for tier 2, but what can he do, right? He's got to make tier 2 or he's just going to die. So, you might have noticed, this isn't actually a Cortex gantry. This is, in fact, Legion. So, I took advantage of having that Legion constructor. And I thought, right, I'm going to start making some Legion units. And my idea was these guys, Javelin, Amphibious Raiders. Look how cool these guys look. Look how cool these guys look. That's nice. Yo, look, I'm a big fan of Legion aesthetic. Really like it. Now look, every 15 seconds, pumping one out. Not too bad, not too shabby. And I've got a bit more build power coming in, because tier 3, you realize really quickly, you just gotta get your resources out into them. I mean, my metal is looking good, and that's because I'm not spending it quick enough, right? Because I don't have enough build power. So I wanna right that wrong. And I'll right that wrong. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit about what my thought process with those javelins were. And to be honest, it's not too far off as to what I was doing with those platypuses. This front is all but spent. I mean, look, it's not anywhere near as popular or winful for the blues as it was before. Wow, I really like the graphics up there on that. The pulsars and the starlights, right? Their beams just look so cool. And I don't think they were doing this before. You know, like this little blue bit on the front end of their weaponry. That's really cool. These heat ray towers are really nice. They're really nice, and I think even they look slightly different now as well. They look more like heat rather than just lasers. Because I know that's what a lot of people say, like, oh, what's the difference between heat rays and lasers? Isn't it just the same thing? I suppose they are, but look, it looks cool. I like it. It looks different. Do you know what I mean? This is nice. This is nice. He's got his Razorbacks. He's got his Razorbacks in the front to stop any spam coming in. Right. I've got some of my my javelins coming up. I'm moving them closer and closer to the waters. Looks like we've taken control of the sea as well. Both the seas, I'd say. We've taken southern and we've taken the northern seas. And shout out to our sea players, man, because that wouldn't have been easy. You know, that would not have been easy. And we weren't doing so hot at one point in the waters, right? So shout out to those guys for you know, shifting that dynamic significantly, and finally taking over the waters. So this is the lowest point, right? Something to learn. Okay, cool. So I've got these guys. Look, because I know where the blue base is now. Those platypuses showed me exactly what I needed to see. So I want to make a string of attack. I want these guys to go in knowing they are going to die. I'm going into a base. They're not going to live. But I want it to be followed up by these guys almost immediately. So how are we looking? How are we looking? So my guys are now coming in. My guys are now coming in. Straight away, these constructors ain't got nothing to answer here, right? Now, one of the things that I think I messed up on, I put them in a fight command. And then I realized, with fight, they're just staying still. Like, they look to be at the furthest range, right? And to fight. So I realized, man, maybe that wasn't the best. Because I wanted them to move in. I didn't want them to stand there and get lambasted by a bunch of pawns that stopped their attack. But... Yo, look. Javelins are coming in. Commanders coming in. Everyone's coming in for a fight. Everyone's coming for the fight. Shout out to the blue commander, man. he was like, look, I ain't standing for that. What do you think this is? It's my house. And he did what he had to do. He did what he had to do. So good on him. I've got some more javelins coming now. I thought, you know what, I wanna get further into the mainland here. I spotted the like red. I saw that he was moving units forward. It's only kind of later on I realized they were Razorbacks, but I thought, okay, they're gonna do enough. They're gonna do enough to push through, right? So I might as well send my units up further into the mainland to help. As you can see, clubs, Ender Rob is sending in his units as well. These Razorbacks are going to be doing the work. Ooh! Yo! Blue goes down. Fusion goes down. This is going to be all she wrote. This is, yes, Nosh. Nosh. This guy was suffering. He suffered so, and he did so well. This guy did so well holding that front line. And he must have been thinking, this game is lost. This game is lost. And now to see that, you know what, our backline were cooking. They did not use that time in vain. They were cooking. They were cooking. Javelins are coming in. Sorry about that, guys. You know when you click sometimes you end up hitting that mini-map. Javelins are coming in. This guy was a bit of a non-starter by this stage, but I didn't know that. And anyway, this is the most direct route to this air player, right? So, and I think Javelins is the right units for this. They're coming through the waters. They've got anti-air. Okay, it ain't gonna be the best anti-air, but it's gonna be enough. It's gonna be enough. And look, if you look at my my move command, this is where I'm sending them, right? This is where I'm sending them. So this should be good. Yup, we're taking out the energy converters. Energy storage is gonna fall soon. Yeah, as you can see, look, they're not the biggest damage output, but it's rapid fire. You get enough of them in, right? They're gonna be a goddamn nuisance. You know, in effect, they're kind of Legion's Marauders, right? Amphibious, quick moving. I think Marauders move faster. You know, they got anti-air, These obviously fire a lot quicker than Marauders, which is nice. Which is nice. Now I only got 2 left, and the answer for me is gonna be your Fusion. Now, whatever's left of his base, he's clearly got his air base left, is just pointless. It's just decoration at this stage. A memorial for a time no longer around. Our bombers are going to take this out, no problem. No problem. And look, we've got more. Our air players are going to just make a field day out of this. Have we spotted him? Yes, we have. Last commander go. No, he's not even the last commander. I feel like we've killed like 1,000,000 of them. You know? I feel like we killed 1,000,000 commanders and they're still alive. Yo, how is he alive? Him. Shout out to ACAM, man. I mean, this guy, he has lived. He has lived through all of this. I mean, he's got fantastic anti-air. I mean, look at this. We just got to get units in. And yo, your boy, my my army of javelins are coming in. I don't think they're going to do too well against these tanks. I don't think. Right? But I'm sending them in. And I know these vanguards are getting vision. Right? So he's going to do, sneaky, sneaky. These vanguards are going to be able to do big boy damage from that range, right? Yes, a Titan. He should clear it all up. He should clear it all up. This is nice because I don't think I'll be able to get any more units in time. So this Titan's gonna be doing the work for us, you know, and that's gonna be nice to see. Yeah, this big boy. I wonder if they upgraded his blue laser. Yeah, they have. Yeah, nice, nice. That Tachyon style. Yep, another commander goes down. It's got to be all she wrote. And guys, what teamwork was that? Look at the mini-map. I mean, look, ACAM, Wesselane. Yeah, this is a good show of literally both teams, right? Both teams putting in the work. You know, both teams putting in the work. I think near the end, Blue kind of started saying, so-and-so maybe didn't do as well as they could have done, etc. But hey, look, sometimes that's the rub, right? We don't always get the and sometimes you got to guide people, you know, got to guide people, give them hints, give them tips, because we would have had players that perhaps didn't do anywhere near as good as other players, myself included. You know, a lot of people are going to watch my play and say, he didn't do too well, could have done this, could have done that to help. But look, I think our team did excellent. We had amazing teamwork, right? Shout out to the frontline players. They really held it down. And yeah, what a win. I just noticed Clubs is Jaman. I hope to see him again in the battlefield. Maybe another Germany versus the world, right? That would be good. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.